Hi, my name's Dr. Claudia, and this is the I Woke Up Like This podcast. Today, we are talking about faith. We are talking about what it is, why we need it, and how you can strengthen your faith in your life. The simple definition of faith is a complete trust of someone or something. And I have to be completely honest, unpacking the complete trust portion of this definition feels like a lot. It's hard to have complete trust in anyone or anything when life itself appears to be fighting against you at times. And I say appears because with every situation, we are being guided and led to complete what we were set out to complete as a soul. So even when things feel difficult, there can be a lot of good that comes from these moments. Faith in and of itself is challenging. It's giving our trust into something that we don't have complete control over. And that is really difficult at times. And that's what's really interesting about faith is that you don't necessarily know that you have it or you need to develop it unless you're challenged. Because it feels easy to have faith when everything in your life looks and feels like it's going right, like it's going the way you would like it to go. But faith is really developed in the moments where things don't look so bright, where you have to persevere through difficulty to keep yourself from sinking into lower emotions like fear, despair, grief, and sadness. This is why so often we hear the phrase choose faith over fear. Faith is a higher vibrational emotion than fear is. We have to choose to have faith in the good, faith in the truth that everything is working out for our highest good, because it is a choice even in the darkest of times. I want to be really clear. I've struggled with this. So when I talk to you about faith, I want you to know that I have been challenged on this over and over and over again. Honestly, I was even challenged earlier today. I would actually argue that embodying faith is one of the main themes of my entire life. I've been through a lot. I suffered with depression, anxiety, abandonment stuff, physical and emotional abuse, eating disorders, self harm, all kinds of things. I am so grateful to still be here with you all because the only reason I'm still here and able to record this podcast today is because at my lowest, I still had a shred of faith that something better was on the way. That if I just held out a little bit longer, things would get better. When it comes to faith, we have to be relentless. The full embodiment of faith is a complete release of control. It's a deep rooted belief that everything is working out for your highest good and the highest good of all. For me, faith is not about having a belief that some all powerful being is going to come save me. Faith is the belief that everything experienced in life has purpose for the highest good. I know that there's an energetic force that we can call God, Source, the universe, and a bunch of other names depending on who you talk to. I know that. I believe, I know in a conscious creator. I don't need to have faith in the existence of it because we are all the expression of that creator. Each one of us is an original expression of that consciousness that created everything. Where I do need faith is in the difficulties that present to me in this life. I needed faith in every lifetime I've ever lived on this planet because the density of this planet currently requires dual experiences, experiences that appear good and bad. All of those moments that feel dense and heavy, those are the times that faith is the energy that lifts me. That's the energy that pulls me from the depths and reminds me that there is light in the darkest of places. The thing about me and faith is I've always had it. I may not have always been open about it. I may not have always appeared deeply rooted in it, but I have always had it. I have always had a deep understanding that we we have faith, and it's hard to explain. It's hard to put into words what that feels like when you have faith. But faith is the energy that gets us through the darkest of times. And it is the thing that gets us through the places and spaces that we're all going to travel through in the coming years. the things that we have to evolve through as a planet, as a civilization. These things require faith in the highest good. Because if you aren't rooted in faith, you're rooted in a denser emotion. And if we break this down frequency wise, so if we look at the frequency of emotions, fear is lower than faith, shame is lower than faith, anger was lower than faith, sadness lower than faith. All of the emotions that feel dense and heavy are lower than faith. So we always have to try and root in that faith level, because when we root in that faith level, we're anchoring ourselves in a frequency that's high enough to get us into unconditional love. It's high enough to get us into bliss and joy and happiness and all of those things. And if you're wondering how you develop more faith, you develop more faith by choosing it. You choose faith in the moments that feel thick and feel heavy. You continue to do that. You continue to believe in yourself. You continue to have faith in yourself, in your abilities to expand and grow and learn and change as a human. In conjunction with faith, there is grace. They work together. So when you make mistakes or things aren't going exactly the way you had hoped they would go, or you didn't react in a way that you would have wished you did, the quicker you go into grace with that situation, that you give yourself that ability to make mistakes and grow and learn and change, the easier it is to have faith. They go together. And so when it comes to faith, it really doesn't matter what your religious background is. It just doesn't. You don't have to have faith in a religious structure. You have to have faith in your ability to move through this world in the way that is joyful and happy and productive for your soul. Every challenge is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to expand. It's an opportunity to increase your depth of understanding with these virtues, with these practices. And so you strengthen faith by being challenged. It grows every time you choose it. Every time you move towards faith over fear in situations that are difficult. Because you doing that is for the highest good, and it's for the highest good of all. And faith is rooted in the highest good of all. And know that no matter how dark it feels, things are working out for the highest good. I know it's really tough in certain moments to feel that. I've experienced that myself. But the more you lean into that, the more supported you feel. And the easier it is for you to keep moving, to keep growing, and to keep expanding as a soul. So whenever fear presents itself, choose faith. You've got this. Keep going.